It should be socially unacceptable to come to work with a cold or similarly contagious disease. It should be socially unacceptable to make your workers come to work with a cold or similarly contagious disease. It should be socially unacceptable to pay your employees so little that they have no choice but to come in with a cold or similarly contagious disease. My daddy is behind the camera. This is better than the kiss cam when it lands on old couples. Oh god, that's so adorable. What the F is wrong with Americans who aren't on board with free healthcare? I'm Canadian, and I don't care that I pay extra taxes so a little boy in Alberta can have open heart surgery or an elderly man in Nova Scotia can get the heart medication he desperately needs. It's called taking care of your people. I'm glad I pay so that people can have a good quality of life. It's called being a decent fucking human being. Hey, do y'all fucks remember 2 years ago when just before the election, all these don't vote, both parties are bad, or vote independent posts were going around, and then Trump won? And now, 2 weeks before midterms, there's all these don't bother voting. Revolution is the only way, and your vote isn't gonna matter, and is an ineffective way to protest posts are going around. Yeah, knock that shite the F off. Don't fall for it and get your ass to the polls. We are not doing this again. In 5th grade, we were making little clay statues, and mine came out shitty, so I left a big air pocket in it, so it would explode when the teacher put it in the kiln, and it exploded so hard, it destroyed 10 other kids' statues, and they were all on the verge of tears. I thought it was really funny, I still do. So you basically planted a bomb. Sap, if you're a broke millennial who wants to do something small to help out struggling minorities right now, eat at a local Chinese restaurant next time you go out. I just went to a lunch buffet, and the lady who runs it was so appreciative we were there, because apparently, business has been extremely slow for a lot of Chinese places since the coronavirus outbreak. People are actually afraid of catching the virus from immigrants who haven't been to China in years, decades, and it's starting to have a negative impact on their livelihoods now that we are a month into the panic. You see that? The motherfucking Queen of England is taking a selfie. None of y'all have a leg to stand on against selfies anymore, okay? Her phone case. Her phone case, guys. If your family ever feels dysfunctional, just remember that my parents got divorced and didn't tell each other where they were moving to, so they ended up moving in the same neighborhood and becoming neighbors. My life is literally a sitcom. In a game with no consequences, why are you still playing the good side? Because being mean makes me feel bad. 23 fucking 100 years of philosophy, and this motherfucker on Tumblr gets it in a meme. Getting to sleep peacefully. My body doing that weird falling thing. Fun fact. It's cause your body feels your pulse falling rapidly and is like, I don't know if you're dying or falling asleep, and I'm not willing to gamble, so it shoots you up with adrenaline fuel to make you not die. It's one of my favorite facts. Till Leonard Cohen struggled for years writing the song Hallelujah and had to pare down around 80 verses to get his original recorded version. In one writing session, he was reduced to sitting in his underwear, bashing his head on the floor, the baffled king composing Hallelujah. It's funny how George Lucas literally said Star Wars is about the Vietnam War and Nixon was the inspiration for Palpatine, but Americans cannot associate the Empire to anything but Nazis, because for them, there are only two genders of bad guys, Nazis and Soviets. Funnily also, how as soon as Star Wars moved from Lucas to American corporate capitalism, they didn't waste time to give their characters cartoonish Nazi-inspired speeches, because you don't want to tell your kids the Empire was based on America. Whomp, there it is. I'm starting to feel like getting COVID-19 would actually massively improve my life. Like, I just lay here at home, feeling sick and tired. But anyone infected with corona, every time you hear about them in the news, they're out there, having the time of their lives, traveling the world and attending concerts, meeting new people, and licking new dork knobs. Here for a good time, not a long time. It's dumb that stress makes your hair fall out slowly. You should reach a certain level of stress, and it should all fall off at once in a heap. Waiter, enjoy your meal. Me, you too, becomes instantly bald. Why don't you just give him a chance? I don't know, because I'm not physically or mentally attracted to him, and but he likes you or but he's really nice isn't going to change the fact that I'm not interested. Damn, I don't think women know how much that really hurts. Does no one realize that Robin Hood was a terrible role model for young kids? I mean, you are stealing from people, illegal, and those people, usually, worked hard to get their wealth. It really demotivates people to succeed when they know they can get something someone else worked for. Is this what rich people worry about? LMAO. Who knew the Sheriff of Nottingham had a blog? How does someone read Robin Hood and miss the part where it's set in feudal England? He stole from people who got their wealth by exploiting the poor. Incidentally, that's all rich people to this very day. Tune in next week when they tell you the story of Ebenezer Scrooge, a benevolent job creator, harassed during his sleeping hours by the hellish socialist dead. Mona Lisa and her possum. This isn't real. You can't just put fake stuff on the internet. I'm so upset because I want this to be real so bad. It can be real if you believe and or help me break into the Louvre. Straight men be like, oh, I love women, but then the only women they like are skinny long-haired girls age 18 to 25. Fake fans SMFH. Hash, oh you love women. Name 3 of their albums. So, remember how I bought a motion activated nightlight for the toilet? Well, the cats seem to have discovered it. So I went for a late night piss and was greeted to an ominous sight. Duel the guardian of the piss altar. My dash is a disaster of reblogs, and I blame this comment, lol. Ha. Finally caught him doing it. Behold, the piss guardian himself. Poseidon quivers before him. So, I find out my friends and I are on our local news website. We were asked all these questions about how long the costumes took us, how we did it, etc. I paused the video right when we were asked how much money we spent on our cosplays, and does that give you your answer? This will never not be funny. Me, starting a new game. I'm gonna be evil this time. Me, 5 minutes into said game. Being mean is not nice. Me, after failing to be evil. I'm gonna look up the YouTube videos of that playthrough instead. Me, looking at the videos. I can't watch this. You should do a monster retake on 2D from Gorillaz, if you're familiar with him. I misread this. Well, enjoy. Stop telling yourself that the grass is greener on the other side, because it's not. It is greener where you water it. So take control of your life and start watering your own pastures and grow your own greener grasses. F grass. Clover is a nitrogen fixing legume, and dandelions are super useful. Be the weeds. Grow on concrete in defiance of those who would thwart you. It's also greener where you bury a body. This post really goes for a ride. A demon that writes messages on your mirror with blood, but they're useful messages. Like, remember you have yoga at 6 tonight. Imagine sticking a dry erase pen to the mirror with a message like, damn it Marloch, just use the pen. You don't need to kill a chicken every time I have an appointment. Taking one step back from competitive Smash Brothers makes it so funny because it's genuinely a serious esport, but at its core it's still a game where Isabelle Animal Crossing can throw Solid Snake off the stage with a fishing rod and Donkey Kong can fight a me-eyed dressed as Sans. When you feel your clothes fresh out of the oven. Okay, so I realized I used oven instead of dishwasher, but I kinda forgot what it was called and used the next best guess I could think of. It's called a washing machine. I think it's a dryer, like, who would be feeling wet ass clothes? This post is a fucking train wreck. Men with earrings are just men without earrings with earrings. I can't stop thinking about how men with earrings are just men without earrings with earrings. I like how a lot of religion thought goes along the lines, we worship God because God created us, and then there's Greek mythology where God invented humans, the other gods beat the shit out of him. Which is someone who has met people. That's fair. The 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s seem to have all separate, unique personalities, but these last 17 years seem to just be one big chunk of time that has no significant meaning. Finally someone said it. These last 17 years have an oh-no feel that just gets bigger and louder with each consecutive year. Every single Friday this kid just shows up dressed as Link. I love this school. Does he talk? He does. But whenever someone calls his name for roll call, he just goes you. What happened in this young man's life that made him think, damn, every Friday I'm gonna go to school dressed as Link? Perhaps it was something in his past. Perhaps a link to his past. Two fair men line water warm and slow. As brothers are they joined heart to heart. But Cupid hath not struck them with his bow. Lest that be thought, they sit 5 feet apart. F you. Idealist starter writing. The protagonist acts out my dreams because I want to write something fun and splendid. Edgy starter writing. The protagonist has all of my flaws because nothing in this world is fun or splendid. Advanced idealist writing. The protagonist acts out my dreams, and the villain has all my flaws, which are overcome by the protagonist. Advanced edgy writing. All my deepest fears happen to the protagonist, who struggles to overcome the villain. They both have my deepest flaws. Horny writing. I'm just writing porn. LMAO. Advanced horny writing. The villain has my fetish. I'm writing horror. If you pull the bag out of a cereal box, you're fucked. You're so absolutely fucked. It's never gonna go back in there the same way again. The box was protecting you, and you disrespected it, and you will get what you deserve. This is an old desk post, and my favorite thing is people trying to explain to me how to put it back in the box. Like, this wasn't an obvious joke. It's so funny how many people type out this elaborate explanation, like I actually can't get a bag of cereal back in the box. Me. Walking. My cat. I'm going to run in front of you. I'm going to sprint in front of you so fast mid-step, and you are going to punt me into the sun. Me. Okay sir. Yes sir. Huge vintage triple mirror. By the way, this is called a triple wedding ring mirror. I'm so glad fairy portals are coming with options these days. How the F was this photographed? How the F was this photographed? She was poetry, but he couldn't read. His name was Judd has 19. When his parents built a very strange machine. Watch that scene begin the dancing queen. I'm Macarena. Horrible job everyone.